Hello everyone, I am Squall. This is Starcraft 2. It is pretty freaking amazing. And we're going to see what happens. Down here in the bottom left, we do have Liquid TaeJa. His opponent for this match, is Bomber? Yeah, Startail Bomber, I think. Wow, I can't remember what team he's on. Wow, I'm a bad esports fan apparently. In any case, this is Bomber, whatever team he may be on right now. I'm pretty sure it's Startail. Anyways, and he is going up against TaeJa. And I've been hearing a lot about TaeJa lately. He has been cutting a bloody swath through the IPL Team Arena Challenge 3, just leaving a trail of corpses behind him. If you watch the Team Arena Challenge 3 finals, I won't spoil it, but it was pretty awesome. TaeJa was pretty amazing. I'll just say that. But in all likelihood, if you are interested in that, you have already seen it. So we'll have to see what TaeJa brings out for this particular match. I can't remember if this match was part of Team Arena Challenge 3. That would make sense to me, but I don't know for certain. In any case, looks like he's going to start scouting out. Scouting a boot with that SCV. And Bomber, on the other hand, getting his barracks up, has chosen not to wall. Instead, going for the slightly more economical, build the supply depot really close to your command center, and then build the barracks pretty close to your command center. And what this lets you do is your SCV is able to get back to mining just a few seconds faster, and that does translate into a small economy gain early on. And it's one of those really minor things. It's probably not going to, decide the fate of the game. But it just gives you a tiny, tiny edge early on if you're not concerned with walling. And TaeJa has not yet completed his wall off, so Bomber will be able to scoot straight on in and see what's up. However, TaeJa is going to block him in. Oh! Doesn't quite get the supply depot down. However, Marine has just finished up. Will be able to repel that SCV. And I don't think that Bomber managed to scut the gases. No, he did not. So, yeah, he didn't find out about that. That said, though, in all likelihood, seeing the SCV move out the way it did, he probably guessed, yeah, probably command center, no gas. Pretty typical stuff. Bomber, on the other hand, has gotten himself a gas geyser already, but is not saving up minerals. Looked like he might have been. Oh, wow, a second gas already. So this indicates some pretty heavy teching. Almost makes me wonder if Bomber's going to go for Banshees. Yeah, that's what it looks like. He's putting the factory here. He will build a tech lab there. And then once the starport's finished, he'll immediately swap it over. And then this is the shortest run distance from your main down to the opponent's natural. And it's also in a location that's not super duper likely to be scouted. So very good stuff. Have to see how TaeJa does respond to that. TaeJa himself just getting a lot of economy. Hasn't even gotten gas yet. His expansion will be finishing up any second now. And saving up a lot more minerals. Are we going to see... Okay, another command center. TaeJa really loves his command centers. I'm trying to remember which game it was in the TAC3 finals. But TaeJa had something like 10 orbital commands. It was honestly obnoxious. He'd just be like, well, I have 400 surplus minerals, just going to throw down another orbital. It was ridiculous. But getting back to this game, TaeJa is putting down 2 more bunkers, or excuse me, barracks, not bunkers. And so going to be able to get lots of Marines early on. Bomber, for his part, got a reactor on the barracks, so he'll be able to produce out lots of Marines. And getting that Banshee, and he is getting Cloak. Has he built a Banshee yet? No, he hasn't. So starting Cloak before the Banshee. Definitely wants to have the Cloak available as soon as he arrives. TaeJa moving forward with a few Marines, but does get repelled because, well, Bomber has more. And 4 is oftentimes greater than 2, but oh, TaeJa going for it, not going for it. Wanted to pick off that Marine right there. That he had friends, and they came along and went, hey, we're protecting our friend. And TaeJa just continuing to build Marines. We've got a tech lab, so we'll be able to start combat shields or Stimpack in the near future, getting an engineering bay and a factory. So definitely looks like he's going for a bio build. But it remains to be seen how Bomber will transition out of this. He does have a tech lab on his factory now, so it could be he wants to go for a mech build or maybe marine tank. Started to siege tank and then cancelled it. Oh, he wanted to get a medevac, that's why. And there we go. Now he's got a siege tank on the way again. I love how the North American client displays Koreans' names as just question marks. He's like, I don't understand this. Like, look at where my cursor is right now. That's just question marks there. That is fantastic. In any case, Bomber swinging down with this Banshee. And wow, missile turret already on the way. TaeJa has a very nice bead on that. Is he going to get a standout? Yes, he does. Will he pick it off? Oh, not quite. Oh, but Bomber dashes in again. And takes a few more shots and very nearly loses that Banshee down to 2 hit points. That's just held together by duct tape and spit, man. Bomber has quite a few Marines out here, and he does have a medevac now, so it won't let him push decently if he so chooses. TaeJa, all he has is, well, just a whole bunch of Marines. He is getting his factory with reactor now, so we'll be able to swap that starport over in the very near future and start his medevac production. But Bomber could have a nice little window of opportunity to deal damage. He has a siege tank here as well. Siege tech will finish very shortly. And yeah, it looks like he's going to push. Brought 2 SCVs up to the front to repair the Banshee. And TaeJa doesn't yet have any medevacs. And wow, Bomber's actually putting down a bunker at the front. Siege tank is going active. SCVs being pulled in advance. And TaeJa, well, he's being shelled to death, man. What you going to do when there's a tank with 13 range blasting away at your buildings? Bomber darts forward, darts back. TaeJa just has so few units here. Oh my goodness, this is definitely a rough position for him. Losing quite a few SCVs to those tank shells. TaeJa pulling even more SCVs. Manages to get the Banshee, nice snipe. But TaeJa is not in as bad a position as you might think at the moment. He is ahead in SCVs, and he's had this expansion up quite a bit longer than Bomber. So long as he doesn't take any sort of fatal damage here, and doesn't lose like 20 SCVs, he's still in a decent spot. However, Bomber does have him very effectively contained. TaeJa does have a tank of his own out now, but siege check is a long way from being done. Wow, TaeJa picking off yet another of Bomber's Banshees. Bomber just can't keep those alive to save his life. And this tank decided to roll forward and then realizes, nope, that's actually a terrible idea. But TaeJa did succeed in taking out all of Bomber's air. So now Bomber has to scan if he wants to see what's up. TaeJa choosing to sacrifice that bunker so he can pull back. Oh man, accidentally loaded up his medevac. That's a bit unfortunate. And Bomber, content for the moment to just kind of sit in this defensive posture. Might roll forward. Nope. He has done the damage he wanted to do, so he is going to head on home. Take a look at the SCV count. Yep, now Bomber is ahead of TaeJa in SCVs. But not by a ton though. And while that wasn't the best ever for TaeJa, that was by no means a fatal blow. And TaeJa loading up some medevacs. Gonna go for a drop. I don't know how well this will work since Bomber is pulling back now. Unless he chooses to push out now that he has more medevacs. If he does, this could hit at... Oh man, this could hit at the perfect time to deal a lot of damage because Bomber's swinging on up here. Looks like he wants to defend a potential third, which makes sense. But, well, he's going to be out of position for this. Now, that said, he is getting a missile turret up here. He does have a sense that this will come. And that will be able to deal a lot of damage to the medevac. TaeJa scooting up with a couple Marines there. Not a lot. But here we go. Dropping off. Does the medevac die? No, it doesn't. TaeJa expertly microing it away so it doesn't die to the Marines. But there's a huge army there, and well, what are you going to do when there's that much stuff? And TaeJa going to lose absolutely everything. I don't think that was worth it. Did he get any workers at all? Well, he's killed 9 total this game, so it looks like he might have gotten several. So it was decent, but certainly not worth it, in my most humble of opinions. But TaeJa just... Wow, these Marines are so brave. There's like an entire army there, and there's like, we'll just hang out here. We got this. Don't worry. But they do see that enormous force and decide to pull back. And once again, it looks like Bomber is going to push. Take a look at the unit counts. Well ahead in Marines, tanks, medevacs. The only thing TaeJa has that Bomber doesn't have is he has a Viking. But in every other respect, TaeJa is down significantly in the power of his army. Now that said, though, he has gotten his third up here. So if he can keep that safe long enough, he will be able to begin to reap a reward. Bomber, on the other hand, only just now starting his third command center. So TaeJa, once again, choosing to go with a smaller army in favor of, well, better economy. But here we go. Bomber is pushing forward very aggressively, sieging up all of his tanks. Oh, man. That is so many tank shells. TaeJa chooses to run forward and pick off tanks, but only manages to get one. I don't know if that was worth losing that many Marines. But Bomber seems to think he should pull back. Okay, that's interesting. TaeJa does have 3 tanks here, and since he does have the high ground, that gives him a little bit of an edge. And he does have 3 Vikings out as well, so he would be able to pick off those medevacs and eventually gain that ever so important air control. But Bomber pulling back, choosing instead to work on those destructible rocks. That will, of course, make attacking up there just a little bit easier. Also working on these rocks, taking out all of his anger on inanimate objects, because why not? TaeJa scouting out with those Vikings, gets a volley off on the medevac, pulls back. Always nice to get damage for free. Bomber looks like he's posturing to head back towards the third. TaeJa really not quite sure where he's going. But here we go. Bomber's moving here. TaeJa a little bit out of position. But Bomber chooses to fall back. Doesn't quite want to push the issue. And actually TaeJa has a pretty decent position there with those tanks. And Bomber has to be really careful. If he pushes in a bit too aggressively, he could lose so much to tank fire from TaeJa. Let's take a look at the unit counts again. So Bomber still ahead in Marines significantly. They are equal in tanks now. So TaeJa's doing a nice job of pushing those out. I wonder if he has multiple factories. Yeah, he's got 2 factories doing it. And Bomber, well, he has 2 as well. So I guess Bomber just laid off on the tank production for a short while. And wow, we got vehicle weapons level 2 and infantry level 3 on the way. So TaeJa getting those upgrades, always such a good thing. Bomber doesn't have any vehicle attack upgrades yet, and only 1-1 on his infantry. So in a tank war, TaeJa will definitely have the edge. Attack upgrades, I know I always rant about how upgrades are so important and good, but for tanks especially so, because it increases their damage quite a lot, and they do deal that splash damage. So it can potentially increase the amount of damage they do by an absolutely absurd amount. TaeJa sacrifices 2 Marines in the name of scouting information and does pull back. Or Bomber pulls back, excuse me. TaeJa moving forward, but we'll see that, nope, there's not an army there anymore. I will fall back to defend my third. TaeJa with a small squad of units here decides to run away because there's tanks there. And, well, I don't know if you've ever actually seen a tank, like, in real life, but they're pretty intimidating, man. If I had a gun, I was told, go attack this place, and there was a tank waiting for me, you bet I would turn around and run. There's no way, man. Looks like TaeJa's about to get flanked by this force down from here. Hopefully he will react in time and get all that away, but, nope. Looks like Bomber's gonna pull back instead. Interesting decision. TaeJa looked like he ran for half a second and went, oh, wait, it's just 1 Marine. No problem. Don't even worry, guys. We got this. Bomber looks like he wants to swing around yet again. Some of his units are, of course, showing up on TaeJa's sensor tower. TaeJa moves forward, picks off a few Marines, and pulls back. Nice little engagement. And Bomber looks like he wants to swing around there again. And this is just classic TVT, man, where it really comes down to positioning. Who positions better with their tanks? And it's all about positioning with this kind of play. And oh, TaeJa surging forward, tanks not quite sieged up. I don't know who has the better position in this case. TaeJa's tanks are not arranged in the best way possible. But he does still have the high ground. High ground is always an advantage, especially when you've got Vikings there to help ensure air superiority. And Bomber does choose to fall back. Looks like we've got vehicle weapons level 3 on the way. Infantry armor level 3. Bomber now getting some of his upgrades going as well. So he will be able to equalize eventually, but TaeJa does still have an edge in that regard. Oh, but Bomber's swinging around here, and TaeJa moving out with a huge force of Marines. Could be in a little bit of trouble if Bomber chooses to stim in right now. He does have a few Marines there to buffer damage, but he's going to have to be careful, man. But looks like he's okay for the time being. Actually, that's enough tanks. I don't know what I was saying. I was thinking, oh, but Bomber could stim forward and take out all the tanks, but he would probably lose 100% of his infantry if he did that. TaeJa with another hit squad, moving down here, taking out stuff. Might be able to pick off a few medevacs. Always such a good thing. Medevacs are so expensive. And TaeJa taking tank fire, but he doesn't care. He's pushing up anyways. And looks like he's going to get it. He does get all the tanks. Cleans up the Marines. Is he going to run into the mineral line? Nope. He's just going to run away the medevacs and then leave these units here to die. But that was a pretty good trade. Anytime you can trade Marines for tanks, that's generally a good move. Because Marines are so cheap. And tanks, well, they're not that expensive, but they kind of take forever to build. Oh, but TaeJa knows there's a base going up here. It is morphing into a planetary. But he chooses to just bypass it. And I think we might see a base trade here. Because, well, there's nothing here for TaeJa. There's nothing here for Bomber. Yep, they're both going for it. Bomber, screw it, I'm out of here. Immediately lifts his orbital. And TaeJa's going to need to start looking at evacuating his base. He does have nice positioning with these tanks on the high ground. Going to deal a lot of damage, but they do evaporate to Bomber's tank fire. TaeJa, on the other hand, surging up into Bomber's base. Focus firing a supply depot of all things. And there we go. TaeJa starting to lift his buildings. Hasn't run all of them yet. Definitely needs to start evacuating this stuff if he wants to keep some of his tech. And sieging up all his tanks in the middle of the base. Oh, Bomber has a couple Marines there to defend, but the tanks do take it out, and Bomber evacuating all of his tech. And it looks like the players are just going to kind of switch places by the looks of things. And this will be a little bit of a reset. So, I have to see. How much tech has TaeJa saved? Okay, he's getting these two command centers away. Has he gotten any barracks? Oh, he's still got 2 barracks sitting here. But Bomber's definitely getting a lot more of his production facilities away. So he will have an edge in that regard. Has TaeJa... Yeah, okay, he has a huge train of SCVs moving up here. This planetary fortress is still alive, so Bomber is mining quite healthily off of that. In all likelihood, TaeJa will indeed go for that. Next, a single SCV. Don't leave me here! Don't leave me with these people! Run! And, well, his flight won't be long-lived. He just gets shot in the face by a tank. Oh, this is kind of goofy. So Bomber moving all of his SCVs down here for the time being. TaeJa moving forward some tanks to lay siege to that. Bomber has a whole bunch of tanks of his own. And we just got buildings crisscrossing the map every which way. This is hilarious, man. TaeJa still has a whole bunch of buildings here, but nothing too useful. Bomber's leaving 2 Marines there. You guys, clean up duty. Look at that rally, man. And these Marines, oh man, got to pull overtime for the next 3 months to shoot to death all these buildings. And there we go. TaeJa laying siege to this and just building new barracks right in front of the barracks, which is kind of hilarious. The planetary, which is kind of hilarious. Yep, he does take out the planetary. Bomber has some forces here laying siege. Takes out one of TaeJa's command centers. TaeJa's got barracks floating up here, but oh dear, another one will fall. Or will burn to death eventually. And these tanks are kind of cutting off TaeJa's ability to save these barracks, so yep, they're going to burn to death eventually. Unless TaeJa manages, maybe TaeJa will drop a mule here to save him. That wouldn't be a bad decision, I think. But another one does go down. TaeJa with the very clear air superiority with these Vikings. These Marines might stem forward though and pick them off. TaeJa, pull your Vikings! Oh my goodness. But actually, they were just really good bait because Bomber lost a lot of Marines doing that. And Bomber, oh wow, look at all these barracks and look at all of those reactors. And he is rebuilding like a pro. He has also taken this base down here. And looks like TaeJa wants to take that base too because he's sending some SCVs down. This is a goofy game, man. This is the kind of stuff that happens when there is a base trade. And these SCVs, guys, we can't build a base because there's a base here. So we'll see if TaeJa chooses to move down there and deal with that. So let's take stock here. So Bomber's got this base here, another one up here, and TaeJa only has a single base. Now he does have 2 orbitals. Let's take a look at the SCV counts. Oh, but Bomber lost so many of his SCVs. So while he does have 3 base locations, his economy is going to be significantly weaker for quite a while. Unless he has lots of mules, in which case mules are just plain overpowered. Because look at that. But once those expire, TaeJa will again pull into the lead. And yeah, this is kind of goofy, man. We got stuff all over the place. TaeJa building a whole bunch of barracks here. Bomber surging forward, running away. He doesn't want to run into tanks. And what does TaeJa have left here? A single supply depot. That's really the only thing Bomber needs to worry a lot about killing at this point. Yeah, he doesn't even need to worry about the engineering base because all the upgrades are there. It's not like... That would be hilarious if there was still one upgrade. TaeJa's like, I'll just start it here and hope he doesn't notice. And it just covertly researches. I doubt he would do that just because it could be killed at any moment, though. If he had to, he'd probably just rebuild an engineering bay over here. Because having upgrade canceled is the worst thing ever. And I'm remembering a game. Which game was it? I feel like it's a game Marine King Prime played in. It might have been against MC. And I was at one of the MLGs. And Marine King Prime canceled MC's Zealot Charge upgrade 3 times. And every single time, the charge upgrade was like 2 seconds from finishing. It was one of the best things I've ever seen. Anyway, Bomber positioning with some tank, taking a lot of fire, kind of unnecessarily. But he does have the advantage now, takes out that one, but lost, I think, 2 tanks in the middle of all that positioning. Not the best move ever. And he does have the watchtower, though, so that gives him a nice edge as far as vision goes. And yeah, this is a goofy game, man. Let's take a look at the SCV counts again. Okay, so Bomber is reproducing. He isn't building here, though. And yeah, you can see TaeJa with the clear economy advantage. 1K, 2K in the bank. And still mining quite healthily. Hopefully he will, actually no, he's probably not going to rebuild refineries because at this point he's just like, I just need Marines, man. And yep, that's what he's doing. He is throwing down another factory now, as is on the way, so we'll start factory production again before too terribly long. But with the bank he has, he'll be able to build, I think, 19-some siege tank. And here we go, engaging in. He does have the Marine tank support, but oh, tanks are finishing sieging. That's going to deal a lot of damage. But oh, TaeJa takes out all the Marines and does manage to take out 2. Will he get a 3rd tank? Oh, he does get a 3rd tank. Definitely a good trade. Lost so many of his Marines there, but killed so many of Bombers. And the thing that really turned the tide there was, well, TaeJa has slightly better upgrades with 3-3 compared to Bomber's 3-2. And he had that crucial medevac support. Bomber didn't have any medevacs there. Does Bomber even have medevacs left at all? Okay, he has 7. I don't know where they are right now. Looks like one just got picked up. Oh, he's dropping in the back. That's what happened. Me and my complete mini-map blindness. But TaeJa does arrive, and so he is cleaning this up now. And the Vikings are managing to pick off a number of the medevacs. That is always a good thing. I don't know that drop play is really what Bomber wants to do at this point. I feel like you should be looking at... You know what? I'm not even gonna give my opinion on that because I've never been in this situation. And it's so hard, you know, you get into these positions so rarely that when they do happen, you're just like, what do? I don't even know. Oh, man. But in any case, looks like things are stabilizing just a little bit. Bomber definitely in trouble. He's down to 17 Marines, 1 tank. TaeJa has 28 Marines and 5 tanks. So, yeah, Bomber's, he just didn't manage to save his SCVs in that base trade, and I think that was the real deciding factor. TaeJa just had a better economy, and here we go, TaeJa's pushing forward, and Bomber GG's out of the game. Well played by TaeJa. Wow, that was impressive. I thought Bomber had a bit of an advantage having the 3 different bases, but then when I checked the SCV counts, TaeJa just saved his SCVs a lot better, and while Bomber did a great job saving all these barracks, he didn't have the economy to back it up. So well played by him. So thank you guys for watching my video. I do hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.